Hey guys, thank you for tuning in, and as always, thank you for all the comments and all the new subscribers, much appreciated. So just a quick one, there's a video connected to this one, and it's a prisoner that I met in prison. Obviously she's released now. We do a few TikTok lives together. I'll put her link for TikTok in the comment bit below so you guys can check out her TikTok page. So we just have a quick chat and I get her views on Lucy Letby being in prison. So it's just another perspective of what she thinks about the situation. I hope you guys enjoy.
My views on Lucy Letby. I mean, are there any actual words like to describe that person? Like on a serious note, like you are preying on the most vulnerable people in the world for like you are just choosing like, who gave you that right to think that you can take someone's life, let alone a baby,
Okay, so I got a
like
really
an
good
innocent child.
I
Like
got I got a
it's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. Like I'm still even being polite. Like it's disgusting.
but what I want to ask, because obviously what people don't realise is she's what she's done is absolutely vile, horrific, horrendous, like
Yeah,
don't get me
go
wrong. But we've actually lived with people that have done worse stuff. That there's not worse stuff. Hang on, right? Let me rephrase that because that
on.
sounds
Rephrase
real.
that.
Like rephrase that totally because okay, I don't even know how to word it. Okay, let's talk about the women that we've lived with. So obviously, you as a mother, like living on, we both lived on house block 4. Obviously, that's how I met you in prison. And
Mm.
obviously, I've already been
That's
explaining to
okay.
like viewers and stuff that she's straight away going to go on a protected wing or a privileged wing. She won't
Mm.
get put into with the main block girls. And obviously, we've had to do our sentence. If you want to be a like get out and do your rules, you have to live among these sort of women, yeah. And
Mm.
how messed up is it that it's the crimes that literally we know that women have done, and you have to literally face these women every day.
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. If I feel like they should definitely be separate from general population, 100%. Like, well, they would be in a men's trial, so why are they not in
So
women's prisons?
I don't think I do you know what I think? I think that they should be put on main block. I don't think they should
Sorry.
have the privilege to be on a privilege wing. I don't
Mm.
think like she will go straight onto a privilege wing or like so in Send, like obviously Bronzefield didn't have that. Bronzefield, as you know, had House Block 4, which used to be a privilege wing. So anyone with a high profile like that, or that had done anything to interfere with kids or anything, they'd go straight on there because it was only good people that would just not speak to these people that lived on there, other than
Mm.
nonsense and stuff. So I think they should be whacked up main block. I think they should have to earn to live on a privileged wing, just like me and you did.
Mm.
Just like you have to get enhanced first to live on there. You can't just go on there.
Well, yeah, 100%. Like, if you're going to talk about like equality and fairness amongst the prison population, then that's really what it should be. But you know,
But they commit these crimes and they get
unfortunately,
special treatment straight
yeah,
away.
they get protected. It's crazy. Hi, Carl. I'm good. How are you? Oh, thank you, Beck. Finally caught you on live, mum. Hey, Kirsty. Let me just say, I agree with you, Fran. She should be with everyone. So hopefully, she gets what she deserves. Yeah, but she won't be. She won't be with everybody. And I actually heard that she even had a laptop in prison because she said that she was representing herself. Like, and I know that, like, then the person who told me is like, yeah, was there at the same time,
But
and
she wouldn't have had access to the internet or
she wouldn't have
anything.
had access to the internet, but like, Like, it's just all of them. But you notice when you're there with those kinds of people, they will like do things to just kind of take the piss out of the system. So like for her saying she's representing herself was just a way of her abusing the system, basically. Because who else do you know like does that unless you're a fucking psychopath?
Like when you first went in, like how did you deal with that as a mother, like being around them sort of people?
Well, I didn't talk to her. I really didn't talk to them. Like,
None
I
of us
tried to
did,
avoid
but
it. No, but obviously there was one person in particular that I ended up doing her hair because I worked in the salon. Um, and then, but my mum's watching me, and the other mum, can you please turn me down because I can hear myself. It's throwing me off. Maybe let me close the door. Hold on. She listens to her phone on like volume 1000, so you can hear absolutely everything. What was I saying? Yeah, so obviously I didn't really, yeah, had anything. Like I was scared when I went to house before. Like obviously I didn't want to go there. I was like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And Alfred made me go. And then so I was scared to talk to anyone because I didn't know who anyone was. I was like, oh no, like what are they in for? What are they in for? So that was a quick. Every time I was on a visit, because I was having them every day, I was like, can you just Google this person because I need to know. And then I'd go on the phone later, and then someone would be like, mm-mm, stay away, like don't be near them. Um, so yeah, but then there was one person. Do you remember her, Lucy? I forgot what her surname
Lucy
was.
Wolf.
That's yeah. She lied. She lied for ages. She told everyone that she was in for drug offences. And yeah, she lied for so long. And then I think it was Debbie or someone must have called me and was like, do you know why she's here? And then when she explained it to me, I was like, no. I was fuming. I was so mad because I felt like you really tried it. Like you actually really tried to come in. And because you can't lie, can you really?
No,
Yeah,
no,
you
I've
cannot
said
lie
this
and get away with it, especially when your case
because
is like in the
but our
news or
names are on
so.
the door. Our names are on the door for starters. Your
Yeah.
surname and your first name are on the door, so everybody knows your actual name. So you can't hide that. But also, when I moved on there, I heard a rumor that she was there bragging. So obviously, I wasn't in there. I wasn't there when you was on there in the beginning.
Mm,
Obviously, I moved there. I come into jail after you. But there was a rumor that she was bragging or like saying, "Oh, the only reason I no, sorry, she wasn't bragging. She was saying, oh, she was like peed off because she only got caught because of the tattoo on her hand or
yeah.
something." And
Yeah, I heard
obviously,
that
again,
as
that's
well.
just a speculation of a rumor that I got told. But didn't you find when I first ever walked on house block floor four, it was like the most eeriest,
I felt like that.
creepiest. It was like you was in an
Yeah,
asylum, like in a mental hospital or something.
I
It was the
literally
most
felt like that.
weirdest, horrible, horrible vibe on there. Um, yeah, it was really, really weird, really
Hi,
creepy. And it was,
Kirsty. Yeah, it was horrible. Like, it was really horrible.
but you was going to
Like,
say you've done someone's hair, so was that what
that
you
was
was just saying? It was
Philpot.
Lucy. Hmm?
No, that was Philpot.
Oh yeah, well she was my neighbour, wasn't she? Do you remember when I first
Mm,
moved on House Block 4? And I
mm.
didn't even realise like all these people on it, and I never really knew that there were so many paedophiles and like children killers and stuff like that. Like in obviously you know people in prison, but
Yeah, but
like
because I feel like it's that whole thing, isn't it? And, you know, we're all kind of guilty of it to a certain extent where you stereotype, you know, types of people. And, you know, I feel like as a woman and, you know, you, being a mom and, you know, you're supposed to have that nurturing side of you, aren't you? Like,
yeah,
not supposed to. Obviously, some people like don't want to have kids or whatever, which is fine. But you still kind of have that like motherly instinct, and I just think that you would never it's not something that you would think of, is it? Like you just don't.
No, you just assume it's men, which is a really
Yeah,
bad thing to
which is
assume
bad.
because
It is bad. Of course it is, and we're all guilty of that. I've done it myself.
yeah.
You could be out in public. I was having a conversation. I can't remember. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and it was like, if you was out in public and a woman approached your child and was like, "Oh, she's so cute," blah, blah, blah. Like you'd be like, "Oh, thanks." Like you wouldn't really think of it. But if it was an old man come up and was like, "Oh, she's so beautiful," you'd probably be a bit like, "All right, mate. Yeah, thanks."
Back
But
up, back
keep
up.
it. But then that's wrong. Like
It is
why?
wrong because
Like
especially the amount of paedophile women we've been in prison with, it is
literally.
so wrong, so wrong. So you're
Um,
what was I going to ask
do
you?
people actually mingle and speak to the kid killers, etc. in there? Yeah, you'd be surprised. Yeah. It was a
So
shock to see so many women in there for such bad offences. It was Sam. Who are you talking about? I've just come on. Oh, we're just talking about. I mean, it got deep really quick.
yeah, but it does because it's such a hot topic at the minute.
Mm,
And it's not so like, oh, let's talk about it. But it's people. The reason I've done stuff on YouTube is because people don't know what'll actually happen to her. Everyone has this persona, but we know factual. Like she will end up in a relationship, whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. Somebody will get with her. Look at her. Was it Shona? Shauna? I've mentioned her before.
oh
What's her
yeah.
name?
It's
What the
Shauna.
point? Yeah, she done. She got a girlfriend, and I don't. They didn't have anything to do with kids and all that sort of stuff.
No.
People
Yeah.
people are mad. And another question I get asked is like, will she make friends? Yeah, she will. Other
Mm,
people like her. Other people
yeah.
like her. Like
Well, because they
you know.
kind of have to a certain. Although other people might talk to them, but they're probably only really going to feel comfortable around like-minded individuals.
Of
Do you know what I
course.
mean? Like that's obviously where they're gonna. But then you'll be surprised that a lot of them that would be in there, they would still kind of try to a certain extent, maintain their innocence. So you know, they they like to behave
Deny.
like they haven't done that.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think I've come across. But to be fair, I don't think I've spoke to him, but I don't think I've come across anyone except for Lucy where somebody's actually gone. Yeah, she's admitted it, and she was like peed off because she got caught with the tattoo on her hand. I don't know everyone else, as far as I'm aware, have denied it.
Mm.
Like none of them own it, and they have the biggest attitude. I don't know how you find it, and you see them walking around. They have like the biggest attitude.
Yeah, no, 100%. When my son was 2.5, he went into a preschool, ended up with a women pedo in there.
Wow.
Oh my days. I do know someone. There was someone else actually. I can't remember her name now, and she worked in a nursery, and
Loads of them in Send as well.
she got less time than me. Like she ended up getting
Yeah,
released
I
before
know.
I did.
Well,
Um,
that's it. You can
thank
go.
you,
You can go and
Kirsty.
rape a woman and get less sentence than us.
Yeah, it's mad. I don't understand. Men's 400-meter relay, Jamaica, Great Britain. Thanks, Mum. We've been watching the athletics for a few days now, so that's like easy access to kids, ain't it? That's why. Yeah, no, 100%. But it's just, yeah. But the thing is, obviously, I think in some situations, like with nursery teachers and things like that, if they've never offended previously, they can go and get a job and no one's gonna know, like if they're that way inclined because
That's where a lot of
they,
them
they've
go.
they've never offended before. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's difficult. Hey Amy, I'm good. How are you? Oh, she didn't. Oh, she said haven't seen you in a while. She didn't say how are you. How are you, Amy? What's your thoughts on refusing to go to court on a debt of sentencing? I don't think that should be allowed. Right, here we go. Okay, let's see if we have the same reasons behind it. So you should, if you're for sentencing, you should be made to go to court. Like the thing is, she probably went to the court, but she didn't go up to the courtroom. So she might have been in the court, but she might not have gone up to the courtroom. I don't know exactly. But the reason being is when you're in prison, if they want to move you from one prison to the other and you refuse to go, they can use force to move you. They can bend you up. They can put you. I've seen people being carried across Bronzefield, you know, the middle bit in Bronzefield. I've seen
Yeah,
people be carried across
twisted up
there by
on the pole.
several officers, like being all like bent up and everything like that, going to get put in the van. Like they will physically use force to get you to a different prison. So, but if they didn't present her to court, the prison would have been fine. So I would have made,
Yeah,
I
was
would
gonna
have
say.
thought that the prison probably would have done the most to probably get her to the court. But then from when she's in the court, I don't think the jailers there have that. I don't think they have that power to
Yeah, to drag her up
force
to the
you then to
courtroom.
drag you up to the courtroom. So I think she probably was there, but she didn't.
Just refused to
Um,
go up.
she refused to go up. But I don't think that you shouldn't be that shouldn't be you shouldn't be able to get away with that. What do you think? What's
No,
your reason for that?
100%. Yeah, 100%. You get fined. I know that for a fact. For when I had to appear in a court, they get fined. I mean, back in the day, years ago, it used to be £1,000 for not getting you to court. The governor told me that
Mm,
themselves. They get fined for not getting you there unless you've got a sick note. So when I was in, obviously, when I met you, do you remember I had the Aussie flu and they locked me down and
yeah.
they adjourned my court case, but then like 2 weeks after, they still didn't want me to appear in court, so I had video link. So she still would have had a video link if she was sick, or well, we would have had. I suppose it depends how ill she was. But
Mm,
there, like you say, there could be a million different things. She could have gone to the court, like you said, and not gone up. She could have tried to self harm herself the night before. You know, she could have been. There could have been something that happened that they don't want plastered all over the media because we know the prisons don't like bad publicity. So everyone can speculate, but that prison, if they want her in court, they will twist her up. Like you said, they will twist her up, they'll bend her up
mm.
and they'll put her in that van. What happens from then is not the because the prison officers don't stay there.
No,
You've
and
got
they've
like
done their
court
they've done
guards.
their bit. Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
you'll have the Serco or GR Amy or whoever is picking you up. From the time you walk out the prison door, they're responsible for you until you get to the court. And then once you're at the court and they get you inside the court, then it's up to the jailers who are inside the court that will take you up. Um, oh, have a nice holiday, Kirsty. Look at Ian Huntley use his mother's maiden name to work in the school. Ugh, I didn't even know you could not go. I think you should be made regardless, 100%. Um, no, I think so. I definitely think you should.
What do
Okay.
you think will happen? Right, so I've already said my piece on my behalf on this. What do you think? What are your views on? Do you think that she will get beaten up? Do you think that people will be able to get access to her through your journey of prison? Because I've seen things and I know what is doable and what's sort of not. In your prison journey, do you think girls can get hold of her and do you think she will get a kick in?
There can be an opportunity for that to happen. Yeah, I do think there can be an opportunity. But through my whole 4 years in prison, I never saw that happen to anyone that was in for that kind of offence.
Mm.
So if it happens, it's very rare. Like, it's this not a regular occurrence. They're not harassed on a daily basis. Do you know what I mean? Go and get Amelia. Tell Amelia or ask Nanny. No, Amelia, go. Um, so if it happens, it's not a regular occurrence.
Do you not
So
think it'd be different because of how huge this has been?
um, potentially, on the basis, obviously, it's so public. But then again, I no, not necessarily, because I was there when other big cases, Rosalind, when her case, when I was in prison, and that was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, she came in while I was there. That whole thing happened while I was there. Nothing happened to her. She might get the odd person shout a name at her, or something like that. But you know, she was still able to walk to and from education and on her own. Do you know what I mean? And not have issues. She wasn't escorted constantly around the prison. So yeah, like I just don't. I genuinely don't think that it happens like in women's prisons. Like
Yeah,
it
so
can happen, but really not to that extent because Rosalind's just one of the people that has just sprung to mind. But there was definitely loads more. I think she'll end it before anything happens to her. She ain't gonna end it.
well,
Lucy,
a lot of people have commented this. You know, a lot of people have
what
said
thinks
this,
she's
but
gonna
I
end her
think,
life?
yeah, a lot of
Who
people
thinks
have
she's gonna
said
end
this.
her life?
I think it depends really because seeing Send, when I was in Send, seeing Bronzefield, I never saw that. I never saw anyone get beaten up for any crime or anything like that. But in Bronzefield, it was different. Sorry, in Send, it was
Bronzefield,
different. No,
Bronzefield is, and sorry to cut you, but I think I kind of agree with you in that sense as well because I reckon if I'd stayed in Holloway, might have had a different opinion. But
yeah,
obviously, where I spent a majority of my sentence in Bronzefield, and it's just run different, isn't it? Like the
it is
whole
totally
setup
different.
is just different.
Because
Um,
yeah, in Send, there was one girl in particular. She literally would go for anyone to do with kids. That's it. She would have them. She would make it her plan. She would go like J wing is the wing for like where all the nonsense and all that go on, and she would. I think it might have been on a weekend for some reason. Everyone had to go to J Wing to get meds rather than main block.
mm,
So she would make like she would go there like to catch this person if she could, you know, certain people. So she was always she would hunt. She would
yeah,
have them, and
but
she didn't care if the officers were there as well. She didn't care. And I think also in Send, I dealt with such a different level of officers compared to Bronzefield. It was crazy, and I believe that definitely there'll be officers that will turn a blind eye, knowing damn well who this person is, what they're going to do. They think this person deserves it, and they will literally turn away, give them 2 minutes, and then that's it. Then they'll obviously ring the buzzer and get it split
mm,
up. But yeah, if I was in Sen, she would get the most amount of abuse from the women. It'd be it. Yeah, she would definitely get a kick in if she went in there.
Sam said, you think I'm on the fence? She's already on watch, I heard. Yeah, but she will be on watch because she's just received multiple life sentences and she's never had, at this moment, she never has the possibility of getting out. So when you receive a like I came back from court and I got 8 years, and when 8 years now doesn't seem like a lot in comparison to other people with longer sentences that I've been around, but obviously it's still a long time. And they sat me down and I had to see the nurse and they was like, look, how are you feeling? Like, are you okay? Do you have any thoughts of like self-harming or anything like that? Like they was asking me all of these questions, because obviously to find out, what mental state I was in after receiving that sentence.
I never got
So
none of that treatment.
I think
Got flung back on the wing. Bye.
but if you've got like several life sentences and you've just been told you will never, there's no way you're ever going to get out of here, then she definitely would be on, what do they call it? Was it,
I call it an act book, don't
the
they? So
act book? Yeah, that's it.
she'll
Yeah, so
get
she'll
checked
probably be
24
checked
hours.
every like half an hour.
The thing is with that, everyone's going to speculate. You know, there's rumours that she's in the segregation. That could be for her protection. That could be because she don't want to come out. It could be a million different things. You know, I don't think
Mm,
anyone's really going to know the ins and outs. I just feel like, personally, I think it won't be long before something comes out in the media in regards to her, whether it's a kick in or she's tried to end it or something. I think something's going to come out because I totally agree with you on the whole. You know, you've got different women; they've been all over the news. I just feel like some girls will have something to prove.
mm,
Um, I think this is just bigger than your average big.
mm. Love your cardigan, and where did you get it? It's from TikTok Shop. I don't actually know um how to put it up here. I have it on my, if you go into my I don't know, basket or something, whatever it is, marketplace. No, that's Facebook. um, TikTok shop product on my page, the little basket. It should be on there, but yeah, just from TikTok. I wonder if her mum and dad will visit her. Probably. Well, I
Just
don't know.
one more question, then we can wrap it up about
Go
her.
on.
Just a quick one. How do you feel about the fact that she can get like or special treatment? So you think in 12 weeks time she could possibly be entitled to having a hairdryer, hair straighteners, DVD player, PlayStation, all that kind of stuff that she's probably walked in enhanced, actually, probably to help her mental state, because that's how they do what the hell they want. But like people at home, just like I think they're a bit like shocked in how like she can just go in and in 12 weeks time she can have all these privileges.
You know what? That's a tricky question for me because I have such strong views on the on us still having our human rights when we're in prison. Like, obviously, for a majority of the prison population, you know, I believe that, yes, our punishment, I've always said, is having our freedom taken away. That is your punishment. And obviously, whilst you're there, you still have to adhere to all these rules and these regimes and all this kind of stuff. So when people are commenting and telling me that I should be eating bread and butter and, there's homeless people out there, so why am I moaning that we was eating a right leg chicken? Like, I'm very much of the opinion that we still are human beings, do you know what I mean? But there's there's a line.
But these
there's
people
a
they
there's
aren't
a
humans,
no,
surely.
this is
They're
what
like,
I'm saying.
they
So
might
I
have a
just wanted
cell
to
of a
make that
human, but
I
they're not
wanted to
wired
make
like a human.
no, exactly. I wanted to make that clear in that sense that thank you, Carol, for the gifts. I wanted to obviously make that clear, but obviously for certain offences, like, you're beyond help. Like, you can't be helped. No amount of prison time is going to help you. So that's why I believe that I feel like they should have their own jail. Like, paedophiles and baby killers, you should have your own place to go. Like, they should all be housed together. Like, they shouldn't be in general population with
But do
everybody
you
else.
think that? Do you think that? See, I
Personally,
don't. I don't, because
yeah,
they
do.
get that. See,
Yeah,
I
but
dis
why? But why? Yeah, no, they don't. They don't really necessarily get it. But why should that? Why should I personally don't want to be like? I don't want to see you. I'm not going to be in. I'm not one of those people, and a lot of people aren't in prison and aren't going to go out of their way to inflict pain on someone else because of their offence. You're just trying to get on with your sentence. You're trying to do your sentence your way, and obviously there's some prisoners who want to cause trouble and want to ride their sentence differently. That's fine, but for the majority of the population, they don't want to run. They have enough drama that they create, women among women. There's enough drama
don't
that
know what
goes
you're
on
talking about.
on a daily basis
I didn't cause
without
it.
that. Like, I don't want to breathe the same air as you. Like, I don't want to walk back to my room or to education or to work and have to see you. Like, I don't want that for myself. And I
No,
think a lot of people don't want that either. So if they're out of the way and you don't have to see them people, that's better.
yeah, no, I 100% agree with you to the extent that I
Take
think
care.
privilege wing should be for privileged people only.
Yeah,
Not
I'm not saying they
no
should. I don't think they
no
should live
no
in a
no
privileged way.
no. Like, so House Block 4 should be for people like us. No nonsense and no children killers. Yeah, they'll never have that
Mm.
privilege. They should never be able to earn that privilege. Yeah, because of their crimes, right?
Mm.
I think they should be thrown onto main block, because how many live on main block? None. Do you think it'd have been a different ballgame if they was living in main block on Bronzefield? They would have been annihilated. They were.
Yeah.
I think that's my opinion. Yours might be totally different, which is fine. But I just think that they should not be allowed the right to live on a privilege wing. So like
Mm.
Jay
Hey,
Jay
Tom.
Winging Send was pretty good, because that
Mm.
was like the nonces wing. That's what it was called, the nonces wing. So they all lived on there, and that was like they called it a prison inside a prison. So like it was fenced off. It had its own little fenced off bit, and it just nobody went on there unless you were getting meds. Like, so that is really good. But I just think that they should never be put onto the privileged wing or the protected wing first.
No,
They should
I
go straight up
agree.
onto the main block and yeah.
No, 100%, I agree. I don't think they should have any privileges or whatever. I don't think so. I think they
Because
should
if they all have
literally
their
live
own prison,
a
they're going to be
basic
living a life of
regime.
Riley.
No,
They'll
but
all
not
be like,
necessarily, because it doesn't mean that there's still gonna that they're gonna get extra stuff. But why? I just don't see why they should be inflicted on everybody else.
no,
Like, I don't
I
want to
agree with
see
that.
it.
The
You
last
know
thing
what I
I
mean?
want to do is have to literally look at that the same. I'm the same as you. You
Like
know, I
you're
got
queuing for your dinner, and in front of you is someone who's done,
all serving you, no,
or
all
serving
serving
you
you.
your dinner is someone who has done the most horrific thing to a child. Like, why? I don't want you to serve me my food. Like, I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
I don't
I'd
want to
rather
get
not
up
eat.
at, I don't want to be unlocked at 8 o'clock in the morning and go and get my dry bit of toast and see that. I don't want it. So I don't understand why that, why we have to be subject to that, to be honest. Or like why everyone else has to be subject to that. Like, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you anyway. Thank you for just doing that little piece on me there quickly.